The city of Ur was quiet under the night sky when Abram slipped away to be alone with his thoughts. Sarah noticed his absence and went looking for him, her heart quickening with worry. When she found him, relief washed over her face, but what he told her next would change everything. Abram took Sarah's hands and told her what his father Terah had announced. The entire family would leave Ur and travel north. It was not a small thing to abandon the city they had always known, the streets and markets and familiar faces. But Abram saw something deeper in his father's decision. Perhaps this journey was the very thing that could lead his people away from the false gods they had long served. Sarah listened carefully, and what surprised her most was her own heart. She had always imagined she would be terrified of leaving home, of stepping into the unknown. Yet standing there, in the darkness with Abram, she felt something steady and calm rising within her, something that felt very much like faith. As the first light touched the horizon, old Terah rose and set the household into motion. There were tents to fold, animals to gather, and supplies to load onto the backs of patient mules. He called his grandson Lot to his side, reminding him that since his father had died, he would now stand as head of his own family line alongside his uncles Abram and Nahor. When the great day finally arrived, the sight was something to behold. Flocks of sheep and goats streamed forward, mules heavy with provisions plodded steadily, and families gathered their children and fell into line. Together they formed a long, winding caravan that stretched out along the banks of the Euphrates River, moving slowly but surely toward the north. As the days passed and the land grew hotter beneath the midday sun, Sarah voiced the question that hung in all their hearts. What lay ahead of them? Abram's answer was quiet but certain. God would guide them. It was not a detailed plan, but it was enough to walk by. Before long, Abram gathered with Nahor and Lot to talk through the practicalities of the journey. Terah suggested they travel by night when the air was cool and the animals could move without the weight of the desert heat. Nahor raised his fears about the dangers lurking in the darkness, but Abram met those fears with trust. The one true God, he said, would be their protection. Lot, still young but learning what it meant to believe, stood with his uncle and agreed.